And I'm not saying Prince is not an American legend. Don't get me wrong. He's not. I mean, he is a legend.
You're saying that Prince was overrated, basically.
I personally think Prince was a very, very extremely talented person, but I think that his compositions were overrated.
Okay. You guys hear that? So let us know what you think below.
Street lights, people living just to find emotions hiding somewhere in the night.
Hey, my name is Brian. That is Shane, and this is the podcast. And today we're talking about American Idol episode. I don't know. It happened last night. It was great. I'm sorry. It happened actually a couple nights ago. I always forget what it's episode 16.
I don't care what episode it is.
Yeah, it's the top 7, and 5 are staying and 2 went home.
That's right.
That's
2
it.
went home.
So doesn't matter what episode. It's top 7.
I'm not sure I like this format because we don't get to kind of talk about who we think's going to go home. You know, we don't really know the format ahead of time. So, you know, I kind of miss being able to do some predictions and stuff. Although one of the 2 I thought were going home went home. So that's close.
Yeah, it happens. Well, we could talk about who's going home next week. We can always make
that's true at the end of this one, I guess. But I guess I'm not sure. I think what they're going to do is 5 will go down to 3. Pretty sure that's what's going to happen. So we'll see.
All right. Well, don't forget our 3,200 sub milestone giveaway. We're giving away a gaming console of your choice. Anyone, as long as it's not some crazy Denmark special edition 1993 Dreamcast or something crazy like that. It's gotta be
unless you can find it and it's really cheap, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's got to be something that we can readily buy on any of the popular store websites. So when we get to 3,200 subs, we're going to do this whole thing where we do this sort of like War World, you know, Mockingbird style kind of Hunger Games thing where we break everybody down, all the subs down into a randomly selected bracket, and they fight it out to the death for the number 1 slot. It's a really cool thing. So subscribe and comment below to be part of that giveaway.
You know what's funny, Brian? You know what's funny is we had somebody comment yesterday, I think, that said, "Look, I don't care if I win. I just want to make the bracket so I want to make the bracket so I can be part of the cool story."
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
so,
those videos are extra hard for me. So I'm glad somebody gets something out of them.
You make everything look easy, bro. Come on.
Yeah, and don't forget this episode we're back to these slides, by the way, guys. Finally, we've gotten some t-shirts from Mixed Tees. They've finally given us. So this episode is sponsored by I've Gone Full Boil. And it is a Brooklyn Nine-Nine reference. I love that show, and I love this shirt. And if you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you're going to like this too. So go to mixtees.com, get this shirt, or any shirt you want, and use the coupon code Shane or Brian for 30% off. I prefer it if you use Brian, but you know Shane's cool too. Boom.
Yeah, Andy was pretty funny on Saturday Night Live, but he's even better on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
He really is. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a very special show, and I actually fear that this season is their last because their ratings have been so low, and it's not their fault. The show is getting better and better. It's the fact that that style of comedy, it might be on its way out, and it's always that show is constantly up against much bigger offerings. It's on Sunday night. You know,
I mean, it has its place, but you know, all TV always does a rotation. You know, it goes from dramas to comedies to reality TV. It does this big circle, and that sort of comedy, the Office style comedy, is kind of going out the door, and it'll be back soon.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine literally never fails to make me laugh. It's one of the funniest shows on TV, but the problem is it's on Sunday night up against all the HBO offers, all the premium cables, you know, because all the big cable companies launch all their brand new stuff on Sunday night, in addition to all the other network stuff, like even American Idol. It's up against American Idol.
mean, there's crazy stuff on Sunday nights. I mean, there's so much on Sunday nights.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on? Sunday night used to be like, yeah, whatever. Thursday night was must see TV.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on.
I do believe that when they moved Brooklyn Nine-Nine to that time slot, I think that they purposely tanked that show.
Well, I think that not to get too far off topic, but I think a large reason why they're pushing a lot of big shows to Sunday nights is that's the one night of the week when you're almost guaranteed to not have people recording the shows. You're going to get a really good live offering of people actually watching TV at the time a show is supposed to come on, which gives the marketing guys better numbers. The time slot's becoming popular.
The thing is, that's a misconception. People think that the Nielsen ratings that you get from live TV are more reliable than the numbers you get from streaming services and DVRs. But in reality, they're not. What it is in reality, the networks prefer that because they know that commercials are more valuable during that time.
Well, true, but also you got recorded versus viewed for DVR. So you got a lot of people who do record the shows but don't necessarily watch them, or they get behind and they never end up actually. So it's hard to show the advertisers, precisely how many views you've got. So it's easier when you've got this live rating. Too bad. The world's over, man. It's all about binge watching now and watching it when you can.
I mean, you're right in that matter when it comes to TV, but when it comes to like streaming, like Hulu, you actually get more numbers and more data on geographics and demographics via streaming than you would on live TV, except for
I agree with that.
You can skip the commercials.
Yes, which advertisers don't like.
So commercials are worth less on streaming platforms. They're worth less on DVR. So they're worth a lot more if you can show you have a significant live audience.
Right, which you can on Sunday nights because more people are getting ready for the week. They're not out partying. They're not out kids aren't playing sports on weeknights. They're home on Sundays. I guarantee you, they're trying to fudge the numbers to the advertisers. Mark my words, Cheerios and Pepsi and Coke. Yep. They're fudging you.
That's why, shows like American Idol and America's Got Talent, they have a really good thing going because you're going to want to watch these live to be part of the voting process and all that. So
smart.
Joke's on you. I just vote on the app anyways. So, all right. Speaking of American Idol, boy, Katy Perry was wearing some crazy dress. This night was all about two things: the birth year songs and Prince.
Yes.
And I'm just going to give my quick TLDR. I don't care about Prince very much. I know he's talented. There's a couple songs. I mean, I'm just going to be real, guys. I hope this doesn't get too much negative attention in the comments. I am not a Prince fan.
Guys, tear Brian up in the comments below. Just tear him up.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. The guy is a weirdo, and he's talented, but he's not talented enough for me to ever overlook any of the weird stuff. And you have to understand, when I was turning like 15, that's when he was in his, at the height of his fame, and he was talking about how he's changing his name to a symbol. And
yeah, I don't know if he was at the height of his fame during that time. He was at the height of his fame after the Purple Rain album came out. I mean, he was famous, don't get me wrong. But the problem is you got to be like, at the very minimum, I mean, you're talking 1985. I mean, you really got to be, good into your 40s to have an appreciation of Prince before he became the artist symbol, the artist formerly known as Prince, when he got weird. Before that, the pre-Prince before that, he was badical, man. That's bad and radical put together.
I know.
He was awesome.
I know you use that word a lot. No,
I know, Brian. Listen, you're not wrong. He got weird. I mean, no joke.
He got weird. And I don't think his music was good enough to garner the respect that he got after he got so weird. Like, am I making sense?
Yeah.
Like, a couple of songs are very good, but like, there's a large body of work that is not very good. And is those couple songs, those few songs, were they good enough to sort of offset how crazy he got later on in his career?
Well, there's a good 8 to 12 songs on Purple Rain, which Purple Rain is arguably one of the top 10 albums of all time. If you go through and look at hits on there, but Prince, what you don't understand about Prince is that he actually started creating a new genre. He was a split between this kind of between like a little bit of rock and pop, and he was just kind of infusing his music with all the different genres, bringing it into his style. He was a style upon his own. There was nobody singing like Prince, and that's why he became so popular. He was also the first androgynous, not first androgynous, but he brought that kind of okay to androgyny in, where David Bowie, everybody loved him, but he wasn't commercially accepted initially. So, but Prince was a worldwide phenom.
So I know music is subjective, but like, those songs that you're talking about, they just don't do anything for me. So
you don't like Little Red Corvette or When the Doves Cry, or
I like When the Doves Cry. I do like When the Doves Cry. But no, I don't like Little Red Corvette. I feel like every time I hear that song, it sounds messy. Like it's all over the place. Like the progression doesn't know where it wants to land and what pattern it wants to stick with. And I'm a musician, guys. So when I'm saying this kind of stuff, like I'm saying this from a place of education. I've been a drummer for my entire life, for 30 plus years. I've been playing. In fact, I was actually telling Shane this the other day. I've been playing with the same people seemingly for almost 20 years. And they have a particular pattern that they like to stick to. And they have like a rhythmatic pattern that they like to stick to as far as their strum patterns, their where they find their center C on a keyboard, what chords they use, their particular riffs. I can tell that they like to inject those things. And I have my own style as a drummer, but as a drummer, you sort of switch it up when you're playing. Depending on who you're playing to, you have to switch it up to match their patterns. So when I hear songs like Little Red Corvette, and you're listening to that pattern, and that pattern is constantly changing and evolving as if it's like a 5-minute riff session. And I was talking to you about this the other day too. I don't think the general audience wants to hear long riff sessions. They want to hear some kind of structure to music. And a lot of Prince's music seemingly, it sounds like it has structure until you actually really listen to it, when you're like, I feel like they don't know where they want to go, and it's constantly on the edge of trying to find it's a solid foundation for this particular song. Except for, in my opinion, A Dove's Cry is a genius representation of solid music making.
Well, yeah. I mean, I hear you. You're entitled to your opinion, and nobody should destroy you for that. But Prince was a musical genius. And here's the thing, is he could play every instrument, and he did it so multiple times, and he did it at a very high level. And I think his music was so great because it was different. And Little Red Corvette, I don't know. For me, it's a great song. I love how he screams. Does that make sense? I love Prince when he gets high. I love Prince. Don't love him as much as I loved Michael Jackson. I thought Michael Jackson was better.
It's funny, speaking of Michael Jackson, he's one of those people, I mean, like, barring excluding the weird, like, pedophilia accusations. Let's exclude that. If you're excluding that, the rest of his weirdness was offset by the catalog of talent that he brought to the table, Like, he was so good, you could be like, you know what? I can totally not think about the person and focus on the talent, because the talent was so good, it would overshadow all the crazy stuff he did. Again, barring the accusations of like the kid stuff. But the rest, all the rest of the crazy, you can definitely overlook, because Michael Jackson, again, an absolute American legend, and I'm not saying Prince is not an American legend. Don't get me wrong, he's not. I mean, he is a legend, and I get that.
You're saying that Prince was overrated, basically.
I personally think Prince is a very talented person. It was a very, very extremely talented person, but I think that his compositions were overrated. That's what I think.
Okay, you guys hear that? So let us know what you think below. Brian's comments about Prince and how you felt about it. I think we lost Prince a little bit after Bat Dance when he when he did that song. And I honestly, Purple Rain is my Prince, and that's where I loved him. Whatever craziness he did after that, I don't really care. But let us know what you think below.
When the Doves Cry is an absolute. It's one of those songs that deserves a level of perfection that only a few artists are able to get to. So I recognize that 100%. But
and there you have it.
But you know what? I feel. By the way, guys, I feel the same way about the Beatles. There are Beatles songs that are absolutely legendary.
We don't need for everyone to hate us.
I'm sorry, I'm not. But there are Beatles songs that are legendary, best of the best. And then there are songs where they clearly mailed it in, but everybody talks about how amazing it is. And I'm like, what? But there's songs that are like they're gorgeous, they're perfect. But then there's songs where you can tell they mailed it in.
Yeah, that's definitely a discussion for a day. But you know, there's
every artist has filler songs, guys. You can't just like say that artist is perfect because they made these great songs. Doesn't mean all their songs are great.
No, but I don't think anybody's saying that all of anybody's songs are great.
Wow, there are people. I have this discussion with people about Beatles, and they lose their mind. Like, what are you talking about? Everything the Beatles have ever done is amazing. I'm like, well, you're crazy. So,
they may personally like it, but obviously you can't have. I mean, they have the most number ones, right? Or Mariah Carey finally beat them out, I think. But
no, Mariah Carey is like such a subjective type of music. Like, you have to really like that kind of music. And I just don't. But there is some songs where I can recognize how freaking talented she is. And other songs where I'm like, I don't care about this at all.
Okay. I mean, I think you've got some.
I'm just being real here, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say this person's amazing just because everybody else said they're amazing, you know.
As long as you recognize that he's a musical genius, I'm okay with it.
No, he's a musical genius. And Doves Cry is an amazing song. But, you know, not all of his music was. So, all right, and you know what? And tonight, we're going to hear some of those tracks that I think were just overrated and bad. And we're going to hear them done at a less talented level. And I'm like, why? Why would we even try to do this? Like,
nobody's going to do Prince like Prince.
The man, the myth, the legend pulled this off. And it was okay at best. And you're trying to make it good. Like, come on. Get out of here.
Okay. All right, let's keep going.
All right, speaking of Kiss, Prince and the Revolution by Jurnee. How'd you feel about this, Shane? How'd you feel about this track right here, Shane?
Well, number one, this song is notable for a couple of reasons. Number one, it was a famous Prince song, but also it was in the movie Pretty Woman, and Julia Roberts is lip syncing or singing it while she's in the bathtub, I think. So that's a pretty memorable song.
As a 13-year-old boy, I remember that scene very clearly.
You should remember that. I don't think that she did bad. I'm glad that it was an upbeat song. You can't do Prince. You know, the problem is with Prince is he's got his own tone, and her tone just doesn't match his, at least in the beginning of the song. When she's doing the chorus, it sounded pretty okay, but I really didn't like her version of it that much. It was just sort of okay.
I am 100% with you here, and I feel like there were parts of it there were parts of the song that she did well, you know, mimicking Prince, but there are parts where she tried to mimic him and totally fell flat.
Didn't work. Right.
And it didn't work at all. And you know what? She pays for it later on. So,
true that.
All right. How do you feel about Sheila E., bro?
I love that. I love how Lionel Richie totally blew it for Ryan Seacrest. I love how Ryan's back in the corner going, God dang it, Lionel, stop it. Because Lionel basically busted open. She was on the drums. And Lionel's like, you look who you got over there. I just don't think that was how it was planned to go down. But Lionel, he ain't going to listen to anybody.
So question, is she a stand-up drummer? Is that what that is?
No, I don't think. Well, I don't know if she was standing. I didn't really notice.
She was standing up last night. Is she always a stand-up drummer?
I don't know if she's always has traditionally been, but I know she's known as a great drummer. And of course, she has her own, couple of hits out there from her time. As
a drummer, I know who Sheila E. is, but I never knew that she was a stand-up drummer because I have a problem with stand-up drummers. And maybe she was just doing it for the performance last night, but I feel like you can't. I feel like stand-up drummers are more like sort of showboaty, and like if they don't have a band behind them, if they don't have two other drummers behind them, they really can't do any work. So I have an issue with that. And I was like, wait a minute, Sheila E. is not a stand-up drummer, right? Because I'm a Sheila E. fan. So I hope she's not a stand-up drummer, man. And I was getting annoyed the whole night, waiting for her to sit down and play drums. It never happened.
And now we all know there's a thing as a stand-up drummer. We didn't know that. I didn't know.
Well, no, there shouldn't be a thing as a stand-up drummer, but there are musicians that will try to take that role and make the drums like the forefront. But in order to do so, they have to have other drummers behind them actually doing the work while they're doing the fill. And I don't like that about stand-up drummers.
Gotcha. Well, maybe she was stand-up drumming because she had to do a lot of talking. Because, of course, she was very close to Prince during his career. And so having her here is completely appropriate.
Yeah, I like Sheila E. a lot. And not for her music per se, but for her talent. She's very talented.
She's super talented. I didn't really care much for her music either.
Yeah, I didn't care for her music at all. But I think she's very talented. And by the way, she's played with a lot of musicians, not just Prince.
Oh, yeah. No, she's known for playing with Prince though, for sure.
Yeah. Next up was I Hope You Dance with Gabby Barrett. Okay.
Yeah. Gabby makes me nervous, man.
Well, it makes me nervous because I picked her as my number one.
Well, last night you did a good job especially with this song, because this Leanne Womack song is very, very well known in country circles. And let me tell you something: blonde girls singing really good country music go really far in Idol. It's just very true, very traditional. And oftentimes they win it or they come super duper close. So I was thinking about our bet last night when she was singing, thinking she did a pretty good, darn good rendition of that song. And she owned it. Yeah. That was one of the songs I felt like it was safe because it's what she does. But I think she was strong with it last night.
No, it was strong. In I don't know. Okay, so she's very talented, and she showed her talent last night with this song. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think the song choice was a good choice. I feel like it was a safe choice, but I felt like it also had the ability to show her weakness more than her strength, because there were moments in that song where she was very tinty, and that's her weakness, is where she can sound sort of flat and tinty at times, no matter how great her attitude is. And so that song, because it was so safe, it also had the ability to show more of her weakness versus her strength. See, if the song has this, if the song is appropriate, where it's showing off your strengths, then you can sort of overlook the weaker parts of it. But last night, it was such a safe choice, in my opinion. There were moments where I definitely I heard her weakness, or sort of flat tinty style sort of coming out in that song.
Huh. I guess I must have missed that. I didn't get that impression at all. I felt it was her best performance of the entire season. I felt like it was exactly the kind of artist she's pushing to be, or that Idol wants her to be. And I think she succeeded in doing what she needed to do last night. I really feel like she upped her bar during this performance.
I mean, it could have totally have been the sound system I was listening to it on. I don't know, but I felt when she went to the higher notes where you heard that sort of country twang, it definitely felt flat to me.
Okay, we'll have to listen to that again.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, by the way, I got this screenshot in here because Michael J. Woodard is amazing. And I noticed that when they brought him from the back room, he did this little dance, and like I had to take a screenshot because I immediately smiled when he started talking.
Yeah, I like Michael. I didn't like either of his performances last night, but I like Michael.
I liked his second performance.
I actually struggled with both of his performances last night, and as much as I like him very much, I didn't enjoy his music last night, and I don't know what that means. It might be, that he has to take a song and make it his own for me to really get it and enjoy it. He has a tendency to kind of not finish the lyrics when he's singing, and it starts to become very Michael J. Woodard-y. So I really think he has to match his voice up with the correct song for it to be overwhelmingly enjoyable. And I just didn't get that from him last night.
I mean, his confidence levels last night were off the charts. I really like that.
Oh yeah, I love him. I love him. He's a great guy. Oh, yeah. I mean, just he's a performer. He's great. I just didn't like the songs.
I agree with you on the first performance because, well, number one, I don't like the song. I never have, but I especially didn't like it being done less well. What's the word? He didn't do it as well as Prince does it, right?
Right. And he didn't make it his own enough for it to be different.
Right. If it was different, but I didn't really like this. I don't really like the song very much to begin with, and then I definitely don't think he did it as well as Prince did it. So I was like, but he's such a great guy. I don't know what to tell you. Though I bet on someone else, I do throw my votes to Michael every time.
Yeah, this is like if you want like the nicest guy to win, this is the one you want.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Katie, so fierce. You're so fierce, Katie.
Fierce. Yeah, I can't. I'll never believe that she has hair again. Now she just does so many different things with her hair. This is a wig, obviously.
It is, right?
Yeah, so I'll never know if she really has hair or not.
Yeah, no, she's actually bald. She's a bald lizard person, and that's all makeup. Yeah, she's part of the Illuminati. They're coming for us. Run! They figured it out. All right. Kay Foreigner doing Who Will Save Your Soul. Oh my God, I hated this so much. I don't know what you thought.
Wow, we are really bipolar on this one. I loved this song last night.
When it was in the chorus and he was going high and giving energy, I thought it sounded good. When it was low, it was muddy and muddled. I didn't like it at all.
I wanted it to be muddy and muddled. I like this song very much. I love this Jewel song, Who Will Save Your Soul. Well, you obviously don't do it nearly as well.
No, but, thank God.
Yeah, but I don't think it was perfect, but I did like it, and I liked that I got something completely different from him. I'm glad it was a Cade performance, and I felt like, okay, this is more of the kind of Cade I would like to see. Take a song, make it your own, be brave. I like, rock, grunge. That's what I like. So for me, I'm gonna go more towards this sort of sound,
sure,
and enjoy it. That's for me personally. So I get it if you didn't like it. I liked it. The judges didn't like it, so they were polite, but they didn't give him glowing reviews.
Interesting. Huh.
Oh, were you trying to say that because the judges felt one way, then you're correct?
I can't say that because I'm criticizing.
Yeah, I was going to say you can't say that because right. A lot of different weeks is not like that, right?
Once you criticize the judges as much as I do, you can't fall back on their opinions. It's not fair. If anything, the level in which I criticize them, maybe I'm in the wrong here.
I don't know, but I do. I like Cade. I like this performance. I didn't like the second one.
See, okay, so I'm not gonna say I didn't like. I'm not saying I didn't like I'm not saying I didn't like the second performance. We're gonna get there, but I did sort of like his showmanship in the second performance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, and you know why? Because they came out with him. So we'll show it when it comes out. But he actually got out more on stage. He had other people join him at the front of the stage, and then they had a little bit of a rock out session
Yeah.
And he didn't sing.
All right. Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears, sang by Katie Turner. Goodness gracious.
I did not like this song when Britney first sang it. And it first came out in the late 90s. And what's amazing is after listening to Katie sing it last night, I actually like that song now because Katie absolutely brutalized it and made it awful. It was so bad that she made the original Britney one actually sound good.
Yeah, I think this song sent Katie home, in my opinion. I think this
Oh, well, maybe, but not remembering the lyrics of the second song.
Oh, yeah.
And then being really bad in that one.
That didn't help. That's for sure.
Bad night. This girl, when she says later on, oh, it's not my night. And they're like, oh, no, you got to say it's your night. No, guys. It wasn't her night last night. She stunk up the floor.
Why do you think she was so happy when they announced that American Idol Live that she was going to be on tour? Because she knew she was probably going home.
I guess. I'm not sure. She did get really excited. And she got a little weird during the vote off up on stage. It's kind of when her personality comes out. She was acting like, no, I must go home. You know, it's like a little too much drama on stage for me. Just sit there and listen to them.
So weird, yeah.
Tell you what's going to happen. And
all right. What about Caleb singing Amazed by Lone Star?
This Lone Star song is super famous song for its time and its era. Country fans are going to go nuts for it. They obviously did. He did a good job with it. He sounded like himself. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
That's our winner. That's how it is.
It was a solid performance.
Yeah. This is why I picked him, because I think our voter demographic is just all over this kid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, man, it's definitely, I do feel like at least it's going to come down to my picks and your picks battling it out for the top spot.
I do, unless Maddie Poppy does something to change. Unless she becomes a little more confident next week, I feel like that's going to be the case.
Unless she breaks into Gabby's, demographic. Right. Yeah, because right now Gabby's killing it with her fans.
Yeah, and I tell you, the Idol producers do not want two country western singers in the finale. I promise you this. So
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
We'll see.
All right, next up was Maddie Poppy singing Nothing Compares to You. I liked this performance a lot. She did really well.
I did too. It was the first sort of breath of fresh air. I was like, okay, now we're getting something. I liked the Sinead O'Connor song. This was written by Prince. Prince wrote a lot of music. And it was a great song when it first came out. And it was great listening to Maddie Poppy put her little spin on it.
But I totally agree. She needs more confidence.
Yeah, she needs, there was one week where she came out. Yeah, she came out one week and I was like, wow, that was super confident. And then I was like, she reverted the next week. So she needs to stay confident. She needs to get that Gabby confidence and hold on to it.
Because Gabby is so confident. There's a point where she winks at the camera. I was like, wow, you go, girl.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
He's owning it for sure.
Oh, yeah. All right. Next up was My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion by Michael J. Woodard. And this is the performance I did like.
I mean, it was better than his first performance. It's still not Celine Dion's mega performance, mega hit. I mean, this song's like the biggest song ever. And Michael did okay, but I've heard it sang better by so many people. It's tough. I mean, I like him a lot, but he didn't bring the house down with it.
No, you're right. He didn't bring the house down, but I liked it a lot.
And you need to bring the house down if you're going to win the show. You need to bring the house down.
To be honest, bro, I don't think any of the performances last night or a couple nights ago actually brought the house down. In my opinion, there were some really solid performances there, but none of them were blowing my socks off. You know what I mean? I was just like, it's all right.
Yeah, I personally think that Gabby had the best performance of the night. And I felt like there were a couple of emotional performances. I thought Cade had one. I know you didn't like it. And then I think Maddie Poppy probably had the other one.
Yeah, I can go with that, even though I didn't like the Cade performance.
And I can really respect the When the Doves Cry performance that was countrified by our country singer.
Yeah. I mean, I like that song, so it was easy for me to like that. Okay, so this is when they announced the American Idol Live, and I got this shot because there was a moment here where Katie actually says, "Oh, I'm okay with it then. I'm okay with tonight." Like she's getting a consolation prize because she already knows that she screwed up.
Yeah, I don't think she was happy with her oops performance. I think she probably had a feeling. And these people talk about it. They know kind of a sort of pecking order that's occurring. Don't be surprised. I'm sure Jurnee knew she was near the bottom. I'm sure Katie knew she was kind of more towards the bottom.
Right.
Going into this. So, and Ryan also announces that they're having a season 2, I think, of American Idol as well. So
yeah. So season 2.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Got to get through this one first.
Yeah, and then we got Jungle Love by the Time by Cade Foreigner.
I wasn't a fan of this song when it came out.
Neither was I.
And so hearing him do it, oh, I'm like, oh, Jungle Love. Okay, so it's not a great song. It's, if you want to, yeah, another Prince written song. It's just not a great song. And I don't know why he did it. So obviously it didn't hurt him, but
so I feel the same way. But I'm going to add to that. Excuse me. Listen up. I think his showmanship definitely masked the limitations that this song put on him, because this guy owned the stage on this song, even if I didn't like the song.
But I would argue that the other performers moved up on stage with him to create a moment, and it wasn't Cade's moment. It was him, and then the background performers, came up on stage with him, and they had this moment of musical this music moment during the middle of the song, which was cool. And it was like, oh, okay, this is cool, but it wasn't all Cade.
Yeah. You're right.
And I wanted to actually say, who the heck else got to have people come up and bring the energy of the performance up with him? Nobody else did. Why did Cade get it?
But the average voter out there is not seeing that. They're just seeing, wow, this dude's shredding right now,
True. Yeah. No. And that's cool. A little bit of that's good. We've talked about it. But this is a music show and a singing competition. And, Cade, you're not singing great every week, man. And I want you to sing great. I'm a little harder on him because I want him to be good.
I totally agree with you. And Katie freaking out. I always get these shots. It's like, oh, it's so good. Oh, all right.
Well, they're not giving Cade a lot of love. She keeps kicking it back to her mom. My mom's voting for you. So I don't know if they're feeling the Cade vibe.
Yeah. All right. I guess. Next up was Maddie Poppy. How come you don't call me? How come you don't call me anymore?
You mean Gabby?
Sorry, Gabby Barrett singing "How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore" by Prince.
Yeah, she had a nice ending to the song, but other than that, it was pretty boring.
Yeah, it was sort of boring. I agree.
But she ended it well with a lot of confidence, and she showed a lot of range in her voice, which is what
bravado.
Yeah. So she showed that she's got talent.
Yeah. She got the chops.
I wasn't entertained.
Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
I wasn't. No, I wasn't either. And Back at One by Brian, originally by Brian McKnight, then sang by Jurnee. I'm gonna go with the same thing you said about Oops. I didn't realize I might have liked this song until I heard this.
Yeah, it's true.
I never really paid attention to this song by Brian McKnight. I remember it being on the radio. I remember it being popular. And then I remember when she was performing. I'm remembering the original performance in my head, and I'm like, the original performance is better than this. Like,
you're so 100% right.
Like a lot better. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, one. And I'm like, oh, I need Brian McKnight here. I need his voice.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah. And I didn't know I was a Brian McKnight fan. Thank you, Jurnee.
Yeah, up until that point. Yeah. And Jurnee, I mean, it's cool. It was her parents. I guess it was her parents' song. Very cool. Nice little backstory. I just don't think she sang it very well.
No. Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that's
she had a couple good moments in it, but
yeah. And then Manic Monday by the Bangles, Katie Turner. Another, like, both these songs are so not Katie Turner songs, right?
how do you forget the words to this song in the beginning? I mean, this is like the only words I know.
Aside from that, but like, I want to know why she chose these two songs when they're so wrong for her. They're so wrong for her.
I think Katie is out of the show because of her lack of confidence, the inability to be able to see herself as something other than a girl lacking confidence that's still in high school. I think that she got she couldn't get her head wrapped around it because she's got the pipes, man. She's a good singer.
Yeah,
she's a really good singer. She was going to sing another song and play the guitar, but she's like, oh, I can't do that because Prince was so great on the guitar. Well, that's why she's out of the competition, because she's not. I mean, she acts kind of like she's a brave person, but she's not.
I mean, by that logic, you shouldn't be singing the song then either, because Prince was a good singer.
Yeah, good point. So, and she picks these Manic Monday. You know why Manic Monday sounded good? Because it was a girl band and it was a bunch of girls and it was a collaboration of sound, not because of the vocals.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right.
Help me. I mean, I like the Bangles, don't get me wrong, but
they're all right.
I really liked them. You got to remember, this was all in my wheelhouse. See, you were still kind of a younger guy.
I mean,
when all of this
I like this song. It has a place. It's really good for certain movie soundtracks.
No, I mean, they got Eternal Flame, Walk Like an Egyptian.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah. Walk Like an Egyptian. Yep.
There's a lot of fun songs. They were a fun band. Susanna Hoff was fun.
Very fun. She did not do well last night.
No, she didn't. Deserved to go home. I was actually nervous for a second that she was going to get put through. And that would have been, I was afraid we were going to have to come into this show just slamming American Idol and America in general.
I was thinking the same thing until I saw the vote out, and I was like, "Oh no, that's the right decision." And then the judges didn't make the decision. That's why.
Yeah. Well, if Michael didn't go through, there was going to be a problem.
Oh, what, for the judges?
No, just in general. In my heart, if Michael didn't make it to the top 5, we were going to have a problem.
Oh yeah, no, Michael had to make it. I completely agree with you. If it makes you happy, Sheryl Crow by Maddie Poppy. I think Maddie Poppy did a pretty good job here.
She was the best performer of the night that did both of her performances well above average.
Yeah, but I don't feel like she made this song her own though. It just sounded like, a version of Sheryl Crow.
Well, okay. If you go back and listen to it again, you're not going to hear Sheryl Crow in that voice at all. You're going to hear maybe some Sarah McLachlan.
Okay.
You're going to hear Jewel. But Cheryl's got a much more gritty voice. So you're right. She didn't change the music up, but she doesn't sound like Sheryl at all.
Like the up and downs, the breaks, and the comment. All that was exactly the same. If I remember,
the song is the song. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also think that song, part of what's good about that was Sheryl Crow's voice. It was sort of perfect for her.
Right. Like I don't know why Maddie picks this song.
Right. I'm not saying she did poorly. I'm just saying, why did you pick it?
Why bother with this song? It's just not, it wasn't in your wheelhouse.
Right. Yeah.
You could have done better.
I agree. Yeah. Next up, When the Doves Cry, Caleb. I mean, he killed it. This was good. It helps that I like the song and I like this version of the song. But I've heard a lot of covers of this song, and I like them, like all of them. So,
I mean, Caleb's just so vanilla, and I don't mean that just because he's white, bro. I mean, I'm saying he
is
just
technically vanilla colored. Technically,
he's just so, you know, just so nothing special, you know. Yeah, I mean, great guy. He's done so much. I applaud him as a human being, but he's just so like so many other country singers. Like, like insert another dude country singer, put him in here, and you're probably going to have something similar. Whereas you got something like Michael J. Woodard, who has just a completely different sound, or Maddie Poppy, who's different. And I would argue that him and Gabby are a dime a dozen. You know,
well,
and
I don't know, that first performance, even though I didn't like the song, was really good.
But I'm saying a lot of people can do it that way. There's a lot of people coming through that can do it. I would just argue that, and maybe I'm more of a fan of like the singer songwriter, more of a fan of somebody who's not so plug and play. And Caleb, you know, he's obviously connected to the song. He's emotional here. He did a very good job performing it, but I wasn't personally moved by it.
Okay.
And it wasn't better than Prince's version.
No, it wasn't better, but I don't think it was worse. I feel like it was a different version of a song that I was familiar with and I liked. So subjectively, I liked it.
That's good, and I'm sure there are a lot of people out there.
It didn't blow me away though. If that's what we're going for, it didn't blow me away.
And I feel like at this stage of the competition, and if I was Simon, I would say, you've got to knock it out every week. You just have to. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to. You have to sing it like you're going home every single time.
Yep.
You know, and I'm just not sure that that's what's happening.
I agree. All right. Next up was a vote off, and if you notice, the three standing up here is Katie, Michael, and Jurnee, of which Katie and Jurnee go home. I think it's funny that Jurnee and Michael are standing off to the side looking at Katie like she's weird. Like, what the?
She was acting weird. I mean, it was the most distracting. If I'm Ryan Seacrest, I'm like, you know, be professional on the stage. Katie really was, in my opinion, very unprofessional. I think Katie might have been afraid that she was going to get voted through. And she was acting like, she was going to get put on. And she didn't want them to think that she felt like she should go up. She was more worried about what they thought of her.
Maybe like there's a script and she thought that they were going counter the script.
Maybe. Michael was making a weird face.
I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but that would be funny if like she's like so unpro that they like gave her a heads up and then like she was sort of telegraphing it, you know?
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody whispered in her ear, you might be going through, or something like that when she went on stage, because she was just acting so like, don't pick me, pick him. I'm like, Katie, they've already voted.
Yeah, it's already over.
You don't get, it's over. You know, whatever.
Look at Michael's face. That's great. It's like, what the crazy woman?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, well, she did go home, and so did Jurnee, and Michael is part of the top 5, so that's it.
It was right. It was correct.
Yeah, correct. Let's talk about next week real quick. I'm not sure if they're voting off 2 next week. I'm assuming they are, right?
I think they are, yeah.
All right. Which 2 do you feel are the bottom 2 right now?
The bottom 2, according to America? Or according to me?
Let's go according to you, then let's go according to America.
All right, the bottom 2, according to me, would be Gabby and Caleb are my bottom 2.
Interesting.
Right. Now, America's bottom 2 are going to be Michael and Cade.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I feel like for me personally, who I like on the show, you know, I don't like Gabby and Caleb because I feel like they're too blasé.
Interesting. However, I chose Gabby as my front runner and you chose Caleb as your front runner.
Because I know America.
Right.
And you know America.
So I gotta agree with you, except for I put Gabby and Caleb in the same place. I can't pick them both as the bottom two. I can say one of them will be the bottom two.
Oh, no. Wait, you're saying next week one of them will be in the bottom two, like America?
For me personally.
Oh, for you personally. Okay, gotcha.
For me personally, I would say Caleb or Gabby, and I would say Michael, or I'm sorry, not Michael, the rocker guy, Cade, or Michael.
Okay, I demand that you rank them 1 through 5 right now.
I see. The problem is, I think Gabby's making better song choices. I feel like her confidence and stage presence is better. I don't necessarily think that she's the most talented one, but her
Brian,
overall,
I need 1 through 5. I need a 1, I need a 2, I need a 3, 4, 5.
I gotta say, like overall, if you know, let's say every one of these singers have stats like singing level, stage presence, confidence, all that stuff, right? I gotta rank Gabby at number 1 because her singing level
she's your favorite.
Might not be here, but her stage presence and her confidence are like so high.
All right, Gabby's your number 1.
And after that, I gotta say Michael, not because of his stage presence or confidence, because those are sort of minimal, but his singing is so maxed out.
Got it.
Then after that, I gotta say Maddie Poppy.
Okay, Maddie's number 3.
Because Maddie Poppy, she has above average singing, but her confidence is not good, but her stage presence is okay, and her song choice is pretty good.
Okay.
You know, and I would say after that, I gotta give it to Caleb, and I think Michael's my last.
Caleb's number 4, Michael's number 5 for Brian.
The reason I gotta say Caleb over Michael is because Caleb has, in my opinion, better song choices. He always plays within his wheelhouse. He doesn't go outside of his wheelhouse, which is safe.
Okay.
His singing talent, while it's generic, is definitely above average. His presence is above average. And his confidence is now. It didn't start out this way, but it is now above average. So he's
gotcha.
You know, Michael focuses, like you said, way too much on his guitar. And while you subjectively like his voice, and I understand that, I do too, sort of.
You mean Cade or Michael?
Sorry, Cade. I meant Cade. My bad.
Is Cade your number 5 then?
Cade's my number 5.
Okay, got it.
So I guess it would go, and the reason he is, I think that he's focusing less on singing and more on being a rock star.
And
and I'm not interested in that. And I think his song choices, in my opinion, don't fit him at all. So I'm gonna go.
You got it out there. So go ahead.
I guess it's Gabby, Michael, Maddie, Caleb, Cade.
Okay, that's cool. And mine is Maddie, number 1. Number 2 is Michael. Number 3 is Cade. Number 4 is Gabby. And number 5 is Caleb for me.
So Michael's your
Maddie.
4?
Say again?
What'd you say? Where was Michael?
Michael for me is number 2.
And where's Cade?
Cade is number 3.
Interesting. So you have the country singers as your bottom 2.
My bottom 2, yeah.
I don't think that there's no way those 2 people go home next week. It's just
no, absolutely not. I'm saying for me personally, that's my order. Like the way that I like them. America's order right now is, in my opinion, Caleb, and then Gabby, then Maddie, then Caleb, then Cade, then Michael. Those are I think how America's got it locked up right now. You would probably argue that America's got the girl at number 1.
I think that's a similar lineup for America, but I think that Gabby beats Caleb.
Right. So you and I basically have Caleb and Gabby flipped, but basically agree that America's going to send home next week Michael and Cade.
I think for sure Cade goes home next week. I can't tell you who the 4th person is.
I say Cade and Michael. You can lock it up, roll it into a little can, and mail it home. I'm calling it right now.
I'm saying Cade's going home, and you can lock it up, roll it up, and smoke that.
All right. So you got Cade. I got Cade and Michael. We'll see what else happens.
Regardless, looks like Cade might be screwed.
Cade's done. Unless he does something amazing.
You know, because America listens to us, Shane, and all of our tens of views.
Okay, let me just be clear, Brian. We haven't been wrong.
No, we actually have a perfect track record right now. You're right.
We've been perfectly correct through top 14. So
yeah, you're totally right.
I mean, unless they're going to come out next week and they're going to do like Led Zeppelin as the songs of the week, Cade's going home, guys.
Yeah.
So
imagine though, if they do like Led Zeppelin or AC/DC or or whatever as they're like, that's the week for the rock songs or whatever. Cade's gonna kill it.
Yeah, no, he'll have a good week and he'll still be around. But
they're
barring
gonna force
that,
Cade to sing right.
Yeah, if they're doing Lionel Richie hits next week, see you later, Cade.
Oh no, yeah. You know what it'd be like? We're gonna do nothing but Pixar hits. Cade's like, I'm just gonna go. I'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Okay, I gotta get out of here. I got this.
Forget. I'm taking my feather and I'm going home.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it for us. Please hit that button below to subscribe if you are not subscribed. Hit the bell if you are not yet subscribed to our notifications. Hit that bell to be alerted to when we upload videos. And comment below and let us know how you feel about what we said tonight. If it's nothing but Prince hate, then, save it, okay? Save it, okay?
No. I want to hear it down there. You guys bring it. If you're a fan of Prince, I want you to give it to him.
You know what, though? All the people out there that think Prince might be overrated, please let me know below, okay?
Let's hear what you guys have to say about that.
Come on, man. Get in there.
Let's have a Prince knockdown, drag-out fight down in the comment section. Yeah.
All right, man. That's it. We'll be back tomorrow for The Flash. I think we got some... I think this week we got some Orville news coming up.
Orville news. We got some Westworld. We've got
Westworld.
Yeah, we got some good stuff coming.
A lot of cool stuff. Okay. Stay tuned. See you guys tomorrow.
See you guys later.